Thank you for joining me today. I'm your host, Ben Swicegood, and if you've not done so yet, please hit that subscribe button so you never miss another episode. So today we're going to talk about the major factors that determine how your life turns out. I call it the ABCs, the majors. You know, a lot of people major in minor things when we should be majoring in major things. A lot of people I have found worry about what they're getting, what they're getting out of a job or what they're getting paid or what they're getting out of a relationship. So we're so focused on what we're getting instead of what we are becoming. That's major. When I learned this philosophy, it changed my life in a major way. And I often wonder why it took me almost 40 years to discover this philosophy of what you become is more important than what you get. I mean, if they taught it in high school, I slept through it. I only went to college for about a year, but if it was a course in college, I didn't sign up for it. And no one that I can remember ever really talked to me or taught me the importance of what we become versus what we get. So I want to give you the steps today, the ABCs, the major factors that determine how your life turns out. Here we go. Number one, A, is for awareness. Awareness is defined as the state of being conscious of something. It's the knowledge or perception of a situation or a fact. It's the knowledge, it's the perception, it's the consciousness of being aware of what's going on around you. What's being said? What do you hear? What's going on? What's the meaning of this? It's the conscious awareness of something. And I remember the day my life turned around was when I became completely aware that if I didn't make a change, a major change in my life, I was going to die. I mean, it was just inevitable. The way I was going, the direction I was heading, the choices I was making were going to lead me to death. And they almost did. Until I became aware, took a step back, had a little time out in a facility where it was a little easier to think and get clarity and become aware. But when I became aware of what was going on, I made a decision. I got to make some changes. Awareness is powerful. You got to be aware of where you are in life, yes, but on the day-to-day basis, like right now, wherever you're listening to this podcast or watching this video, what's going on around you? Use awareness right now. What do you hear besides my voice? What do you see? What's the meaning of what's going on? What direction are you heading? Where are you in your day? Where are you going today? We must become aware of what's going on around us. Problem is we get so distracted with things and noise and life that we lose awareness. We lose where we are and what's going on, and we lose the meaning and the point of maybe life. And like we talked about last week with enjoying the process and living in the moment, you've got to take some time to stop and be aware. Because awareness is what's going to lead you to the next couple of steps, the B and the C, to completely changing your life if that's what needs to happen. But awareness is one of the steps. It's the first step that determines how your life turns out, because what you're aware of, what you do with what you're aware of, is going to totally shape your life. We must become aware. And the second one, the B, is for beliefs. Beliefs are defined as a state or habit of mind in which trust or confidence is placed in some person or thing. It's when something is accepted, considered to be true, or held as an opinion by us. Beliefs, a state or habit of mind in which trust or confidence is placed in something or someone. And a lot of people believe in different things. A lot of people have different beliefs. But today you've got to ask yourself, what do you believe about you? What do you believe about the people in your life? What do you believe about this world? What are your beliefs? You may want to take some time to write these down and get them on paper so that you can really see them and be aware of them. Your beliefs. For too many years, I believed I was a loser, an addict, a nobody, would never amount to anything, wasn't good enough, overlooked, bad kid. And even today, I still battle with some of those beliefs because they creep in. They slide their way back in. Beliefs can be sneaky. They're limiting beliefs. There's false beliefs, and these like to creep up. You know, we have an adversary, an enemy that likes to just sprinkle those in your day to day. So we've got to be aware of those beliefs. We've got to be aware of what we're thinking and what those beliefs are. And if they're not true, we've got to remove them and replace them with the truth. This is why awareness is so important. The Bible says, take every thought into captivity. Every thought, every belief. You got to take it into captivity. You got to be aware of it, understand it, realize it, and then you've got to remove it from your life if it's not going to help you get to where you're going, if it's not going to bring you fulfillment and peace and joy, and if it's not true. If it's a lie from the enemy, then you've got to get rid of that belief and that thought. The B is for beliefs. And the last one, C, is for choices. Choices. The word choice is defined as an act of selecting or making a decision when faced with two or more possibilities. Selecting or making a decision. All throughout the day, we're faced with choices and decisions. It's estimated that the average adult makes more than 35,000 decisions a day. 35,000. I mean, from hitting the snooze or not in the morning to going to the gym, what to wear, what to eat, what to say, what to do, what to have for lunch, what to have for dinner, what to watch. I mean, the list goes on and on, all the way to when to go to bed, when to turn off the phone, when to turn off the light. These seem like minor things, but these little choices throughout the day, they add up. And they'll slow down your production. They'll take away your time. They'll distract you. They'll compound and become a major thing if you're not careful. These seem minor, but they really can be major. But there's also those major choices, those big choices, those big decisions that if you make the wrong one, it could cost you everything or your life. There's major choices that come our way that we've got to make the right choice. When I look back on my life, I made some majorly bad choices. And I got to live with that. I got to live with that pain and that regret. And even up to recently, when I tried to apply for something and I tried to move into a certain thing, that record, that history came back up because I made some bad choices. And there's still record of those bad choices, and that doesn't go away all the time. But one day, after becoming aware of my situation and believing in the possibility of a better life, I made some good choices, and I made a decision to change my life. So I'm no longer making those type of bad choices. I'm not perfect by any means, but I'm not making the same bad choices I was years ago. Like Jim Rohn says, if you want things to change, you, capital Y-O-U, have to change. With the help of God and some wise counsel, I started making good choices, which led to the good life that you're listening to today. That's the key. Choices are hard. Decisions are hard. We've got to run them through some wise counsel. We've got to run them past God and see what he thinks about it. We've got to pray and seek advice and seek counsel so that we can start making better choices in our life. Because this is going to determine how your life turns out. I mean, if you're hanging out with people that are making poor decisions and choices, then you have a pretty good chance of your life turning out that way. But if you can start hanging around the right people that are making better choices, then you will start making better choices as well. But I've noticed through the years that when I start to lean on my own understanding, when I don't consult with God and this wise counsel of people, I start to make bad choices again. We have to continue to seek out the counsel, continue to seek the Lord in different decisions and choices that we're making. These are the ABCs. These are the major factors that will determine how your life turns out. Awareness, beliefs, and choices. You work on these three things, you're working on becoming a better you. It's not about what you can get. It's about what you can become. So that's what I have for you today. If you like this episode, please share it with someone that you think could benefit from it. And also make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any future episodes. For more information about me, you can go to benswicegood.com. As always, I appreciate each of you and I hope you have an amazing day.